hunkered down and went through everything. And then when I got through all my treatments and they kept, saying everything looks good. And it's like, wow, it's time for me to do something with myself emotionally because I'm not here.
They throw out a lifeline. I needed a lifeline. I needed a good understanding just for Courtney and just for me.
We had a favorite phrase in our Surviving and Thriving group. Maya Angelou says, surviving is important, thriving is elegant. Yes, we are so elegant.
People, especially sometimes people that have cancer, they won't talk about it, or they won't share too much. Unless you're in a familiar, even in their own little friendships, but that's what it's supposed to be, to open up, help open up, to people that would talk about it, or guide them into an area to come here and pick out the class that you think you would like to be a part of.
But I was really totally turned off by the support groups I'd run into, because I was not looking for a pity party. And so many of them that I went to was, oh my God, this is so terrible. No, that's not the way it is. This is just a challenge. And I talked to Dr. Massey and she said, they're new, why don't you give them a try? And the focus is so entirely different with education, support, meeting other people who have been through the same thing I have, who've gotten on with their lives. It's a defining moment.
Because this place, I got done with all my chemo and radiation and stem cell transplant, and it was like the information stopped. Come in for checkups. This, and I had other issues. How come I don't walk right? How come I'm angry all the time? And she knew that I had, that I lacked understanding, and doctors didn't have the time to explain it to you. And she said I needed to come to Turning Point, and I came, and this place is just more powerful than anything I've ever been through.
I guess, when you've been through chemotherapy, you're so focused on just getting to the next day, I guess. I wasn't violently sick, so it wasn't terrible, but I didn't realize until it was over just kind of how bad I did feel. And so then you suddenly come to this point where you think, okay, now what? What do I do to go on? Because you're changed forever, and I just couldn't see how I would be. And so Surviving and Thriving was the guide there, showing us how to go forward. And Maura says how to find your new normal.
But the workshops are really set up as one night, heavy-duty crash course. Learn about specific items that are unique to anyone who has had cancer.
I think it's also important for the children to know that other people other kids are going through the same, similar situations, and so they walked out really, I think, with more information than they had coming in. And I wish we had Christina's picture that she drew of Mary's illness, because it's just an amazing picture. It starts up in the upper corner with really big dots or blotches of paint, which was Mary's cancer. And as it went down through the picture, the blotches got smaller and smaller and eventually disappeared, and that's what the cancer was going to do. And we would never have thought to have her try and paint a picture of Mom's illness and so forth. And I think that was very healing.
It's one of those places where you do develop your intimacy with fear, and it's one of those places where you can go and be afraid, and it's okay, because then you know that you, and they don't give you false hope, and they don't tell you things to make you feel better. It's one of those places where you can decide it's okay, I can survive and thrive.
Turning point, this organization gave me a very good hope. You see, I just thought, even I'm not alone. I'm home alone, but I'm not alone. So I got a lot of help from them.
A place like Turning Point, if it was another big upfront cost that I had to incur, I might wait a while to do it. And we needed it as soon as we could get it, because that initial illness that is, in the beginning I didn't know how serious it was. And all I could do was think, we've got to really get after this and get all the help we can, get the right people to help us. And then the kids needed the help too. So I don't know, it would have taken us longer probably to jump into it if we felt like we had to incur a lot of cost to start with.
But because this group, they offer free of charge of all these programs. So that's why I could attend. If they charged $10 for 1 hour, I will not avoid. I don't have. So that's why. Yeah.
Strength, faith, optimism, acceptance. That's pretty much it.